Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 333 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly news, culture, and video games podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander. I'm joined by the Twitterless one, Mr. Daff and Moody.
Amy, it's our last episode of 2022, so I brought ice cream.
Where's my fucking ice cream?
I have no fucking idea, but it's going to be interesting.
I'm just watching you eat ice cream now. It's very...
Oh, it's Monday. You know what that means for the final time of 2022.
That's one hell of a way to break the news that the podcast is cancelled.
Cancelled for the entire
That's a joke.
year.
That's a joke. The podcast isn't cancelled. But we're also joined by a man who I can only seem to get onto this podcast for numerically important episodes like 300 and 333. It's Mr. Joe Memphis, and it's Spinning Disco Ball.
I'm all about that third of the 333. Leading into 2023, I'm here to help carry it over the finish line once again. Thank you so much for having me. I hope everyone's doing good.
I feel like compared to when you did this last year where you came on the podcast because we desperately needed some help to carry us across the finish line because our mental health was shattered, I feel like we're both in better places at the end of 2022.
The vibe feels there. Precisely. and no matter what Moody's like, I've got my ice cream.
I've got my ice cream.
And I'm bringing back the cheese and biscuits and
I don't have
the
anything.
large glass of red wine. So, we've got it going on.
So for audio listeners, Joe, I just need to paint the picture here. Joe literally does have a plate of cheese and crackers, a glass of red wine, an old-timey flat cap, and some sort of Christmas shirt.
I love the cap, by the way.
No, it's a Moody move, and I got this flat cap for my birthday. I haven't worn it on the internet at all, and then yesterday I was at ye olde charity shop in Stevenage of all places, and I got myself this very, very snazzy Christmas shirt for just a few quid, and I was like, well, you know what? There's no better place to test it out than the wonderful Words About Games. It's the season after all.
Stevenage, nice place. Good people.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, last time I was there, I picked up a very nice person from a train station. It was Amy.
Last time I was there, I just wandered around lost outside a train station until I saw someone waving at me.
hoping someone would spot your brilliant blue hair.
Yeah. I mean, I made myself as conspicuous as possible.
You did indeed. We got there in the end. All was well.
We did. How's that ice cream, Moody? You're looking pretty satisfied with life right now.
Sorry, if we already covered the flavor, I missed it while I was bringing up the doc. What's the flavor?
Chocolate caramel.
Classic. Very, very nice. Very, very nice.
Not a caramel fan.
Well, that tells me everything. No,
It does. It does. It tells you everything.
It tells all.
it tells us all.
Like salted caramel, won't play Sea of Thieves with me. I mean, just...
At this moment in time, apart from being when I'm at work, I don't really play much on anything right now. Even Pokemon's been put on the side right now. I mean,
let's be realistic
I can't
here.
be bothered right now.
Can anyone really be bothered with the current Pokemon?
Probably not, but yeah.
Did Pokemon coming out and just being busted up, is that what's just killed your enthusiasm? Not just for Pokemon, for video games.
I don't know. I think as everyone knows, I work in the games industry. I'm a QA tester, and I play every day. I play basically 5 days a week, 9 till 5, and it can be a bit exhausting.
So you're saying all you do for your job all day is play video games?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's tiresome. It's like no wonder Twitch streamers give up sometimes and everything. But yeah, it's that. Yeah, I just get home and I'm just like, I'm just gonna whack some TV on and I'm gonna chill, and that's all I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's one of those things. But also not a lot as speaking to me, not a lot screaming at me. Like, I won't lie, the Pokemon fans did take a 1-2 punch from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet this year. My goodness. So, and maybe that has just made me go.
It's got to be deflating. Like the game that you're most
Hell
looking
yeah.
forward to for like Christmas period, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's a great game, but super
it's
annoying to
broken
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I have not picked it up. I've not bought it. I don't think I will, as well. And that comes from someone who got Pokemon Shield when it came out over the Christmas period of that, and loved playing it, and really had a good time. And yeah, not the most polished games, but it's a shame that this really and Violet. They literally gave me a color that I am wholly associated with. Hold top purple water bottle for audio listeners. Yeah, it's a damn shame, really. But well, I'm sure we'll get a bit more into that as we go, and many other things. We'll year in review and figure out what's.
I don't know. I'm just watching Moody. He's speed eating that ice cream, like.
Oh, ice cream does not take me long.
It's not like it's gonna melt in this weather. I had to go out for my tea tonight. Like literally, like we had like a family chippy because we're not making a Sunday dinner because Christmas next Sunday. No, can't be asked. We'll have a Sunday chippy, but it takes ages when you get it delivered. We'll have to go and get it. I went, fine, whatever. We'll go and get it. We'll jump in the car. We'll go and get it. And I opened the door and took one step outside, and I was like, this is a mistake. I regret everything. I wish I was just eating bread. It's so cold. I don't mind the cold, but when I'm like having forced out into it, right?
We just had wet today. It started to technically warm up a bit, and that means it's just above freezing, and it's just fucking rain, just wet, and it's like sludge and slush everywhere. It's the freaking worst.
Yeah. As someone who still lives in the far north, it's like, yeah, when it warmed up, it was almost zero.
Yeah, it's meant to get to 7 degrees around my area.
Yeah, it's meant to get warm tomorrow, or like today, I guess Monday. Like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, autumn's back.
It's hanging in there, apparently.
I love the fact that you finally followed me on Instagram.
I was already following you by accident. I unfollowed you and then followed you back.
All right. I was
doing a what's it called? A spring clean on it.
And you
so
and
I only have literally a handful
you were
of
like,
followers.
you know what? Fuck this. I don't need Amy's Instagram. And then you thought, she might get mad. And then you followed me.
And now, having checked my Instagram, I see that one David Moody has also followed me. I don't know if it was a refollow. Don't care, because it's beautiful to have you.
No, it was a first follow.
Oh, the first follow. I've deigned to request a follow there. So.
Oh.
And then I go onto my Instagram feed, and there's someone who I knew as a girlfriend of one of my roommates in university. The caption is nothing like a spa day in the Balinese jungle when it's raining outside. Like just her in a freaking like hot tub spa situation in Bali. Get wrecked.
Oh, fuck off, man.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Why?
You very attractive person doing very attractive things. How dare you? How dare you? We're stuck in the wet and the cold.
I saw Robin today. Like
you saw?
the bird.
Yeah. I was in my mind
Robin.
went who, and then I was like,
who's Robin?
It's a bird. A robin.
No, the Christmas
bird.
bird.
That's cute. The Christmas bird.
Yeah, it was flapping around outside, and I was like, oh my god. There may have been a giant truck involved, so I was kind of like also a bit worried. But it was very cute. It was very small, and it was just standing at the door looking in, and we were like, "You can't come in here. This is not for you." As much as I would like to adopt you.
Yeah. And also, fun fact,
because they don't live long.
after a quick Google of Robin, I just discovered a word I didn't know existed: insectivorous. So we've got carnivores, we've got herbivores, but if they just eat insects, it's insectivorous. They're insectivores. So most birds can potentially be described as insectivores, and that makes them infinitely cooler than they already were. And birds are pretty freaking cool. That's fun.
Insectivores sounds like something I would have watched on Nickelodeon in the 90s.
Yeah. It's like Inhumanoids or Beast Wars or there's a whole
Beast, Animorphs,
yes,
Power
Animorphs.
Rangers.
Those book covers for Animorphs are like imbued into, and then there was the big bad Beetleborgs as well. They were.
Beetleborgs.
Oh my god, Jesus!
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Moody's in ecstasy now thinking about Beetleborgs.
VR troopers.
VR troopers. Oh my gosh, yes.
Before VR was cool.
VR, let's be fair for a second. Has VR ever been cool?
I don't know.
VR is never going to be cool.
VR is going to be that weird niche thing that Amy really likes, but it's never going to be cool. See how much a PSVR 2 is going to cost? It's never going to be cool. You look very satisfied with yourself now, Moody.
I am. I'm pretty satisfied. I had a good day yesterday, mate. It was a good day.
Good day. Was it? Did you do anything in specific, or
No, not at all.
no?
Just
Not at all.
Just
I've specifically left a few. I was going to say I've
13
specifically left a few minutes open here.
I've just saw a film that I've been waiting 84 fucking years for. Yes, I created that joke. Fuck the internet and the YouTube creators. I created that fucking joke, you little bastards. And I'm claiming all you fuckers.
All right, Elon.
No, but no, yeah, I finally saw Avatar, The Way of Water. Oh, it was everything I wanted it to be. And that's all that's all that matters.
It was everything I wanted it to be, except for the hour and a half longer than it needed to be. I enjoyed the visuals until I was in that middle portion of the movie where I was like, how much longer? Oh, there's still an hour. There's still an hour and a half. Like it is too long. And I think he could have put some of that in the third movie that is, also for a movie that goes to lengths to explain a lot of new things to people. There was surprisingly moments where I felt like there had been scenes cut. There's probably a 4-hour cut somewhere that James Cameron wasn't allowed to inflict upon us. But it is, if you're looking for a visually arresting experience, do go see Avatar: Way of the Way of Water. It's not Way of the Water. It's The Way of Water. It's weird. I keep wanting to put it the other way around, but you get me.
Who invited this guy again? The guy who likes Sonic fucking 2, the worst movie of the year.
All right,
hell.
okay.
Okay.
Sonic 2 is garbage, mate.
This is what Elon wants. He wants us to fight each other. Don't give him the satisfaction.
Sonic 2 is hot trash, and I stand by it being a better time. I had a better time with it.
Fuck off! Better time.
It's
An
a
hour and a
retread.
half. You say Avatar needed to be taken off. An hour and a fucking half, dude. It was the quickest movie ever.
No, it was 3 hours and 16 minutes long or whatever it was, and
It was fabulous.
It wasn't fabulous. There's so little there in terms of story and.
Blind are you, guy?
No, I'm not blind because yes, the movie does look and sound incredible, but I shouldn't have to wait this long to go over some of those same narrative beats that they did in the first movie and have it be just as unimpactful. Like, I don't feel I need to see and deal with that film again ever.
That's fine. That's all subjective. If you didn't enjoy it, I am never going to say that you're the biggest piece of shit ever. Oh wait, I just did.
I love you, mate. I love you. But also, I just feel that I would have enjoyed that movie more if I was, under the influence of something. It was, but it's if I was in a more, perfect, plateau of a Pandoric state, I might have got more out of it. But there were points where I was like just taking lifting my 3D glasses up, like, oh god, this is kind of hurting me a bit more, and I don't really feel like what's happening is of consequence right now, so I can just like maybe almost have a nap. That was it was the movie is it's good. It's rather good. But it doesn't
feel like you said that politically just to keep me happy.
It doesn't. No, it is though. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. It didn't transcend for me. And also, I felt, and maybe it's because it's been so long since I've watched a 3D movie, but the action of it, or maybe I don't know what is in high frame rate or what, because my screening didn't mention it. Like, I don't know.
Did you have the high frame rate one?
I don't know for certain, but what I do know is that when things started to happen in terms of action, I felt like it was, when you feel like something's skipping frames a little bit.
That means you had the high frame rate.
Yeah, probably. It was not the most. I mean, it didn't make me nauseous or anything. I just felt like I was missing like little bits here and there, little beats, and it didn't look right, and that's
fair.
Yeah, it was frustrating.
The weird thing is for me is that you sound like you don't like 3D anyway, but you went into a 3D scene.
No. Bear in mind, no, that's not a concern of mine, because I hold up the first Avatar as the quintessential reason why films should be made with 3D in mind, if that's what they want to do. It is, when you do have those scenic vistas of the water and the environment. I think the first film, because of its more forest-based setting, had that. You felt like you were immersed inside of the forests of Pandora, right? Like that's
fair.
Yeah, and I think that was there. But but also that did come out at a time where we were more used to putting the glasses on and everything, and doing 3D movies anyways. And since then they really
Not
have.
in 2009 we weren't.
No, but I think it was still around that time in general. We kind of had more. Hey, Amy. Amy's back.
Hey, Amy.
We had more of those, whereas now it's like before. It's all good. Before Avatar, what was the last film? The most recent Avatar. What was the last movie you actually went and saw in 3D?
Gravity.
Exactly. Yeah, which was like.
But that was made for 3D, just like Avatar was.
Yeah. No.
I completely agree. 3D is a fad because. Sadly, because of Avatar, because everyone thought, oh, we can get more money out of this. So when they converted all the films to 3D, it was absolutely shit. I don't disagree about that. You didn't like. I don't mind you don't like if you didn't click through you whatsoever. Avatar 2. Me, I loved it because it was a film of fathers. It was amazing, and I loved that about that, and I loved it, and it was a film of empathy. And I think that's what they set up, and I think what they've set up for the third one is going to be absolutely excellent. And Zoe Saldana, that final 45 minutes with her, holy son of a bitch, I was just like in awe with her. And yeah, absolutely, I adored this movie so much. There's problems with it.
I think Zoe Saldana got shafted though. It felt like she was barely in it for me.
Yeah,
she gives it her all. She's an incredible actress. Don't get me wrong. But I think that I wish there was more of her.
Well, I think there's going to be a bigger cut. I think when the Blu-ray comes out, there's going to be maybe half of that, a 3.5 or 4 hour cut or whatsoever, and I'll be gobbling that right up and everything like that. Because at the same time, it's the same with Kate Winslet. She's barely in the movie as well. You got an Oscar-winning Academy actor, and you barely see her, which is disappointing to see because they hyped her up and everything. Maybe she's got more in the third film and everything, but no, I loved it. I thought what they did in the movie was really good. I was worried about the kids. I loved the kids personally. I thought the kids were really, really well done. The second eldest son, I think he has an excellent story. He has a story of finding himself, which is, I think, for me, what connects more, even more, because I think I've just found myself in the last few years and everything with what's happened to me in my life. And I think, I've said this from a part. I'm an easy lay for this movie. I am. James Cameron's my favorite director. He's never made a bad film for me whatsoever. Like, I've loved everything he's done. Yes, there are problems. Yes, is Titanic maybe a bit too much soap opera-ish drama? Yes, maybe, but what he does for that movie is still incredible. What he did for Avatar, he revolutionized cinema. And with this film, he's revolutionizing cinema even more again because of what he's been able to do with the technology for underwater and everything. That underwater scenes all looked real, and it was disgusting how real they looked.
Oh no! It looked absolutely incredible. I just want for more from the actual narrative. I didn't personally connect with it in the way I wanted to, and
that's fair.
I think it wasn't all there.
I agree with you. There's no doubt about it. It treads familiarity, but I think that's absolutely fine because a lot of films are all trend familiarity. Every film treads familiarity. The best film of the year, Top Gun Maverick, is a Star Wars ripoff.
For sure. But it's in the execution. I was never bored during Top Gun Maverick, and unfortunately, during that sort of like middle section of Avatar, I was like, there's a certain point where you get diminishing returns on this is visually spectacular. At least I did, because I wasn't able to be fully invested in it. But also,
that's a shame.
This isn't words about movies. This is words about games. Amy,
fuck that. She knew what she was coming in with for when she asked me about Avatar. Fuck that. Let's keep going, boy.
I think we're probably going to.
You brought it up first, and I didn't expect you to start fighting.
I called him a son of a bitch.
I know. If you'll recall, I upgraded to wireless headphones. I heard the whole thing. I heard everything. Enjoy that ice cream. It's time to talk about video games, nerds. I'm not doing that. So, like, you changed my doc, and I don't know why. Why does it say Moody News with 3 exclamation marks? Is this it? Are you resigning?
Moody News. I said to you that I might have something to tell on the last episode for this week.
Oh, yeah.
And I do.
Absolutely remember that. 100%.
Clearly Definitely. You do. Clearly you do.
My memories.
It's fabulous, Amy.
It's amazing.
It's the best memory ever. Ever. I passed my probation.
Oh, what?
They can't fire me unless I do something really bad.
I mean, well, they probably could.
Yeah, true, but no, I passed my probation.
That's
the
awesome.
Schmucks aren't getting rid of me now.
As long as you don't.
Suckers.
As long as you don't take a shit in the disc tray, you'll be good.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Is that what the ice cream's for?
I should just wanted ice cream.
Have you bought a celebratory Bulbasaur?
No, not yet.
That's so cool. I'm so happy for you.
Life finds a way, Amy.
Life does find a way.
I'm sure I'll find a space for another Bulbasaur there. There's only a few. There's only like 4 or 5.
No, you've got a little. See, if you get like a little one, you see on the very edge of the top, you could definitely get another Bulbasaur there.
Yeah, definitely.
Or you see where you've got those displays behind you, right? If you put another like of the same size one next to Vivi, and then you've got all that white space, could you pay someone to like spray paint a Bulbasaur on your wall?
Probably.
There you go. I should have been an interior designer.
Should have been, Amy.
For Pokemon. That's so cool. I'm so happy.
Thank you. Yeah. I was so nervous.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
yeah, I was happy.
I had no doubts that you were going to be
Well, I
fine.
did.
But
I had doubts.
I am, as someone who recently did a thing, like I know how you can have those doubts for yourself,
Yeah.
even if they're unwarranted. It's cool.
Yeah, well played, man.
Thank you very much. Now on to the game news.
I mean, is it news?
No, not really.
Not really, no.
Apparently,
So-
you're blaming me for creating a cool discussion.
I'm not blaming you for anything. It even says on the doc, I shared this article on Discord and Moody said it could be a cool discussion. And I agreed.
It sounds like you're throwing.
Here we are.
It sounds like you're throwing me under the bus again.
I feel like you're being a bit paranoid here, if I'm being honest. Yeah, so I shared a Eurogamer article about the pull of undemanding games in our little private Discord thing, and Moody said this would be a cool discussion on the podcast. And I looked at how much news there was this week, and then I went, yeah, we need something. So
The ice cream is finished.
the ice cream is finished. So Moody, understanding the pull of undemanding games. I'm not going to read the guy's article. It was written by Jeffrey Bunting over at Eurogamer.net. You should go and check it out. It's fun. It's all about looking at a 100. Basically, it's all about like looking at a game that's going to take 100 hours and going, no, I don't have time for that. But then playing 100 hours of a chill game instead. That isn't a 100-hour game.
Yeah.
Like Island is.
Yeah, there's no doubt about like I think I've fallen into this pretty much quite easily over the last few years. I think especially when I started going to college and everything like that. Unless a game completely spoke to me, like say like the God of War Ragnarok or God of War, the last God of War, last two God of Wars, Last of Us, and everything like that. I've actively tried to avoid the massive games, especially if they don't speak to me. Like I think I fell into that with Horizon this year. Horizon 2, I think, is technically an exceptional game, technical wise, but the world just is like Joe just said with Avatar 2, even though he was wrong.
No, not again.
Was boring.
The PlayStation beanie is on for a reason.
No, but yeah, it didn't click with me, but I also wasn't clicking with the main character and everything like that. But yeah, it's just big games just don't suck me in like they must have been. But I think it's also like I'm super excited for the next Dragon Age. That's gonna be a massive game. Unless it's boring, I'm gonna be like into it. I know I'm gonna get back to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet after they fix the fucker. If they fix the fucker, they're probably not gonna fix the fucker. They saw the money and they went, you're all right.
What was that? I can't hear you over the sound of me
all this
fanning
money.
myself with
Yeah.
millions of yen.
Yeah, something like that. And like, I'm super excited for next Mass Effect whenever that comes and everything. That's going to be a massive game as well. And it's like, and like last year, you just replayed the entire Mass Effect trilogy. That's like,
That's why I laughed when you said the next Mass Effect, because I'm just like, I'm currently in the midst of an interesting relationship with Mass Effect.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what was it? 80 hours? 90 hours?
85 hours.
85 hours.
85 hours, 298 gigabytes of footage, and a new hard drive.
And you still got to play it again for
And I'm still going, baby.
But no, I think. But then you get called to like small games, Celeste. I have to get up my list. I've got a list. Let's get up my list. I haven't looked at it for a while. Actually, I looked at it last week. List of games I've played this year.
Oh, this
Why
year.
Why am I going on chat? Spreadsheet, where are you? Read all about it. That one.
Should Joe be saying that? He looks like he's from that era. With his flat cap. Read all about it.
Like,
ding ding ding.
We Are OFK, one of my favorite games
heard
this
the
year.
words about games?
We
Sorry,
are,
Rudy,
well, that's all right. We Are OFK. That for me is one of my favorite games this year. You can complete that in about 3 or 4 hours, give or take. They even tell you how long the episode is.
Surprisingly accurate as well.
Yeah, surprisingly accurate. And then there's The Quarry. The Quarry is like about 8-10 hours, give or take. But we had so much fun when you and me played it, or I played it and you told me what to do and everything. Return to Monkey Island for about a 4 or 5 hour game, and I would say it was about right for what it was and what it was needed to be. And it's just like there's so many great games out there that don't need to be massive, ultimate big games. Like there's a game out there called Omni, I think. It's about 20 hours long, and I'm thinking I can't do it. I say I can't, but I just unless the game's speaking to me, I'm not going to go into a game to play 20 to 30 hours of it. It's rare.
That's true. That's
so it's like, yeah, it's just it's all of these things out there. That's so many small games that are just so bite-sized and edible. Like it's like the thing of like that's why I think battle royales work so well. You're doing like a 20-30 minute little bite-sized match. And if you last to the end.
I mean, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. I'm Moody. Do you mind if I pick it up there?
Go for it.
Because that was my first thought when I skimmed through and looked at this lovely little article. I was like, my most played games this past year were Fortnite, Fall Guys, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. All games where you are, regardless of whether they're actually ongoing or not. Mario Kart 8, of course, add in there, DLC tracks in. Fall Guys, refreshing with seasons and new rounds and things like that. And then Fortnite, I thought, I was like, oh no, actually, it doesn't fit in. No, this, we've got Jeffrey Bunting talking about, smaller indie games with maybe more sort of zen elements, building or farming or, create. But actually, for me, it really is. Actually, I want to jump in and, I'll hit off these, seasonal, weekly challenges. I'll take half an hour to an hour doing that, and then, maybe get back to something else. And it's easy, it's familiar. I know the controls like the back of my hand. I know the mechanics. And even when Fortnite re-ups for a season, it's like, actually, that's refreshing to me. And it doesn't demand a lot from me. I also very recently just jumped back into doing some kind of like side quest cleanup stuff on 2018 Spider-Man on PlayStation 4, and it's like, oh yeah, there was some stuff that I didn't finish. I finally got all the backpacks, and defeated Tombstone in a side quest and all this sort of stuff, and I just had fun swinging around New York as you do. So games don't have to be all that. And the third and last thing I'll mention is I've recently also, and I'll speak to this with Amy as well, been revisiting a lot of older Xbox games. When Amy visited me here in the flat, we played a bit of Left 4 Dead.
Bit of Left 4 Dead, baby.
Exactly, yeah.
That's fun.
Great fun, like local co-op games. And I think that there is. I'm so happy for everyone who has you're talking about with God of War Ragnarok, or maybe it was Horizon Forbidden West earlier in the year. People jumping into games which are going to take and overtake their life for 20 to 50 hours or whatever it is. But I've much more this year been engaged with ongoing experiences. Sitting down on the couch with my flatmate, we just started Gears of War 3 tonight, and it's like, it does not take a lot from you to get back into games or revisit games or introduce someone else, sit on a couch and, blow away some Locust Horde, chainsaw them to pieces. It's great fun. And I think that there's so many games out there that lots of games can provide that, whatever your version of that is. But it's maybe been missing a little bit when it comes to so many of the headline games being the blockbuster, triple, quadruple A's, whatever you want to call them, and people getting carried away with those. It's like, games are meant to be fun, and they don't have to put too much on you in the course of that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've talked about my history of playing games is weird because I used to review games.
And I thought you were going to say you used to be weird. I was thinking, okay.
I'm always been weird. You see the shit that I've been playing recently? Well, we talk about the games I've been playing this week. But no, I'm like, because I used to review games, and not just for myself. So I used to review games for other people, and that creates that expectation as part of doing that job, I guess. Where it's like I have to play this game because it's coming out. Like I remember. There's like 3 games that all came out on top of each other in 2018, and it was like, I need to get reviews out as fast as possible. And the person I was working with was like, you need to get the reviews out, and I was like, oh fuck, because these weren't small games. Like I remember one of them was Far Cry 5. I didn't hate it. It was very like for me personally, I remember that was a very boring game. But I grew to hate it because I was trying to play it like through more of it than I wanted to, and like it's taken a lot. Moody knows all about this. It's taken a lot for me to like detach myself from that mindset that was it was partially my fault and partially like external factors that mix together and be like I have to have an opinion about all these games, and I've reached the point now where it's just like I'm playing whatever the fuck I want, right? Like I got my PlayStation Wrapped this week, and God of War Ragnarok was surprisingly my most played game on PlayStation. And I played it for 50 hours, and it was because it came out at exactly the moment where I was looking for that kind of game. And then I didn't play anything. I played Mass Effect for a couple of weeks for a video. And then like what I was saying to you, like once I'd finished that run of playing Mass Effect 2, God of War, Mass Effect 3, it was like, what did I play? I played like I picked my Switch up and I played a couple of like short, chill puzzle games, right? Because I was like, this is where my head is at. Like, I know Crisis Core and Callisto Protocol and Pokémon. And I was just like, no, you know what? I'm going to play it a little to the left, and I'm gonna rearrange some picture frames and put the forks in the right places, and the cat's going to swipe it, and I'm going to shout at my Switch like it's a pet. And they're like, what the fuck you doing, you furry little bastard?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about, like I said, when me and Joe were arguing about Avatar, familiarity is a spice of life for a lot of people. It's just like they want that familiarity, what makes them happy and what makes them relax and makes them chill. And like that's what a lot of things are. When like we may bitch and moan about Activision Blizzard and everything like that, but Call of Duty is a familiar spice of life out there for a lot of people. Who do just enjoy that game, and yeah, well done to you all for doing that and everything. Like it's a game that doesn't speak to me personally, but it constantly is one of the biggest best-selling games of every year and everything like that, and they're doing something right for it. Just look after your stuff, you bastards. And the same goes for like everyone else. Like PlayStation, they're kind of like they're in their own mold themselves when it comes to their exclusivities. All very powerful, for the most part, depending on how you feel when it comes to it. Very powerful stories with good good gameplay mechanics and everything. But it's mostly the story that drives you forward, that makes you connect with even more when it comes to the game. For them, and I think that's what they have done. That's why, like, I think it's fair to say they're probably the best when it comes to story-based games at this moment in time. And like right now, like me, I don't know if we talked about it last week. Was it, Amy, about Microsoft? No, so something you wanted to bring up this week in one of the stories. I'll hold that off later on then. But all I'll say is like Microsoft are kind of like they seem like they don't really know what their thing is when it comes to their exclusives. They know they're the Game Pass people, which is an incredible offer, an incredible marketing tool and everything, but they don't have the exclusives out there that are making, they don't have that thing that's making people go, oh, Halo. Well, no offense, that died instantly. You don't speak about it anymore, people. It came and died. I'm sorry. I apologize to you Halo fans. You got the good game you liked.
As a Halo fan, I will accept that apology because, yeah, it did. It really did.
It came and it's gone.
But also, what I will say, at least for Halo, is that I recently, again, like in my Xbox sort of course of things, picked up Halo Infinite again, and just in terms of the multiplayer, and just jumped in and played till I got the little Master Chief helmet I wanted. Spartan helmet, commenters don't come at me. And then, and enjoyed just that loop of gameplay again in a fairly undemanding way. It's there, and it doesn't, need to be this kind of like, oh, people should still be talking about Halo Infinite. Yeah, it may not be on the tip of everyone's tongues. They took too long to put the co-op out and all this sort of stuff. But
co-op's still not out.
Wait,
it's not coming. It's not coming. They've cancelled it.
Split screen co-op's not coming out.
Yeah.
The online co-op's
not coming out.
Oh no, yeah. I knew online would co-op. Yeah, is that yeah? No, if only split screen.
That's why I haven't played it. But I said to me and we were going to play the split screen co-op.
It's just the same. The couch co-op's not happening.
Wait, I thought they weren't doing co-op at all for it.
Here's what I will say. Here's what I will also say for couch co-op.
Campaign co-op came out last month.
What games are doing couch co-op when the production and scale is the level of Halo Infinite? The answer is none. The answer is actually like basically none.
Not many. It's small AA games that do it mostly these days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and those certainly aren't being talked about in the same breath, or even a lesser breath. So I get that that's not happened, but yeah, we're going off the track here. As
that happens a lot of things when
that's what this podcast is about.
Yeah.
But no, like I'll tell you what I have been enjoying, because I've been doing these retrospective videos. It's been nice to play It's been nice to play not the current hotness. You know what I mean? Like, it was nice to go back and play Mass Effect. It was nice to go back and play Dishonored 2 again. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just...
I'm right there with you. It's been so much fun to go back and be like, oh, wow, this is what Epic Games were before they made Fortnite. It's like before Fortnite was all Epic Games was known for, basically. But it's like, oh, wow, they made this kind of like... well over the top, trying to be taken seriously, third person story based shooter, and it's things were simpler back in the mid to late 2000s. They weren't, but they also were.
They were simpler in a different. It was just a different time on it, but no, like I'm enjoying that. Like, I don't know. I look at my Twitch. I've been looking at my Twitch channel recently and been like, there's a lot of classic games that I have either not played or I played a bit of and wanted to go back to and then never did, because I always felt that need to be like playing whatever was relevant or playing whatever was just come out, or like, oh, it's Game of the Year next. Like me and Rudy are doing Game of the Year in a few weeks. Like, shit, I better play these 20 games in the space of 3 weeks, because that's gonna happen. Whereas like, I'm looking at like, for me personally, obviously you don't need a Twitch channel to do this, but I'm looking at my Twitch channel just going, I could just play some of those games. Like, it was talked about, like, how much I love Judgment, Moody, and Lost Judgment, and it's like, but I've never played Yakuza. What's stopping me? Like, what is actually stopping me from playing those games? It's like nothing.
All, yeah.
This ridiculous mindset that I have to like play the things that are coming out in 2022. I don't know. Like, Moody joining this podcast has been like this slow like breaking down of like all of these ridiculous like rules that I have in my head about what I can and can't do based on the things that I used to do before Moody got here. Moody is based. What I'm trying to say is Moody has been giving me free video game therapy for the last 2 years.
It's difficult, there's no doubt about it, because like I've still got games for 2022 that I want to play, but at the same time I'm just like I said to you last week, like I watched the Dragon Age anime on Netflix.
Sure.
When I watched that, I was thinking, I want to go back to Inquisition.
Sure.
I love Inquisition. That's one of my favorite games, and I was just like, I want to go back to that. But then when you were talking to Mass Effect, I was thinking, I want to go back to Mass Effect. I was like, oh no, what have I
just wait done? Until the 3-hour video comes out.
Yeah, I probably won't be watching that. It's 3 hours.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Unless it's in 3D, high definition, everything like that on a big
high
screen
definition.
for me. I can't do it. It has to have water, lots of water.
I mean, there's that DLC in Mass Effect 3 where you go underwater for a bit. Does that count?
put a lot of film of that in.
I'll do what I can.
But,
you do fall through a fish tank at one point as well.
You do indeed. I remember that.
And now you're thinking about the Citadel DLC.
I know, damn you. No, but it's like, it's really like when games like they are so like what you were saying, Joe. They are meant to be fun, which you are not completely right. There, they are meant to be fun. They're also they're magical at the same time, especially when they grab you and you fall in love with it for its gameplay or for its characters, for its music, even, for God's sakes. It can be one of those things that just holds you and you just doesn't want to let go of you. And that's like why a lot of us go back to our old games, or we go back to the familiarity of the Fortnites, the Fall Guys, for you and me, and for the longest time. Last year was Among Us for Saturday in Among Us, and it was like Apex for us as well for the longest time, and etc. And it's like the familiarity is just it's such a powerful thing for a lot of people, and why a lot of mediums out there, sadly, not sadly, I think it's nothing wrong with it. Stick to the familiarity, and it works.
I just thought of a T-shirt I could print, which is like, I survived a pandemic and all I got was this lousy Apex Legends Platinum. Even though I got it on Xbox, but Platinum just sounds better.
Yeah, both of us 1,000%
Didn't all three of us do it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you me, and
God. But yeah, no, to your point about fun, it's just like there are games that I definitely want to play that were released in 2022 that, like, over the next few weeks, like Pentiment, for example, is a game I really want to play because I'm super excited for that game, and like Stray as well. Like, I really want to play Stray because I never actually got around to it. And like, we'll talk more about this later because there's a thing we want to do. But like, one of the, like, fun is one of the reasons why, like, I've played a shitload of Sea of Thieves recently with Ryan, because I'm just like, this game's fun, like, and I enjoy it, and Ryan enjoys it. So we just play it together, and we've had a lot of fun playing it. And like, even back in 2018 when it came out, and I was on other podcasts talking to other people, and everybody was trying to tell me this game was boring, and I was just going like, but it's not though. There's not a lot to do. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I have fun playing this game, and sometimes that's it. Like, you know, I could sit here and analyze a game and critique a game and make ridiculously long videos about games, like, where I break down all of the stuff about them. But like, I couldn't do that with Sea of Thieves because it's just a fun game, and that's all you need sometimes. Like, I log in, I have a good time, I log out, and then we play it again. Like, I can't even get Ryan to play Faz anymore. Like, if I text him,
VR, and then he was just like, "Nah, man."
That might be why. I might have pushed him a bit far.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
He was in VR and a child ghost ran at him, and ever since then. Yeah. But no, like, yeah, it's like, games are supposed to be fun, like, and play what you want. Like, don't be beholden to new releases. I feel like is a thing. Like, if we're giving out lessons,
I am the living proof of that. I haven't. The last, like, new release game I played, I think, was maybe like Mario Strikers. Yes, that is a game that did come out this year. Like, I have not played a game since that was released as a new game in the year of our demon 2022. Like, it's, you know, and that's fine by me. I just, you know, there's games that are coming out next year that I'll want to be there day one for, and Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2. But, you know, that's
wait, hold on. Did Joe Medforce just call it Breath of the Wild 2?
I know, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda.
This is a banger moment for the podcast. Like, this is a massive controversy. Joe Medforce just called it Breath of the Wild 2.
I know. You know, the glass of wine's almost been finished. Anything goes. So,
I feel like these are the best vibes to have for the final podcast of the year.
Most certainly, most certainly.
If I was someone who drank alcohol, I'd be right there with you.
You're there in spirit. That's all that's needed.
I see what you
No
did
pun
there.
intended.
But yeah, I think my most played game of the year was Phasmophobia, which makes sense.
Phas is probably up there for me, but I also don't know.
No, like the problem with it is it's spread out. It's exploded across like what 4 or 5 different platforms in it. So it's like it's hard to like compare everything. But I think like outside of multiplayer streaming games, I feel like God of War was probably my most played game, and I did all of that in 4 days.
Mine is probably Pokemon Legends Arceus. I would say, yeah. Potentially, it's probably that for me.
That's fair. But here's one for you. While we're on the subject of this, because I don't know what the topic was anymore. But my PlayStation Wrapped, I only played 135 hours on my PS5 this year. I've, like, considering 50 hours of that was God of War Ragnarok, I feel like I barely touched my PlayStation.
I think it's fair.
Yeah, like Horizon, I bounced off that game really hard. Like, I did it live on the internet. Everybody saw me bounce off that game.
if I've received a PlayStation Wrapped, I don't know where it is. Like I don't know how to access it. Like it's only very recently that I've sort of dusted off the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox. I've been having to sit in my living room, and it's because it's freaking Fortnite. Like, it's absurd how many hours of that game I have put in cumulatively, and I played all of like 3 hours of Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'm so sorry, Moody. It just didn't.
Me.
Probably because of the army of Bulbasaurs that are behind you.
I love.
Fine. They're asleep. It's all good.
Don't. Shh. It's okay. It's okay, Sylveon. Don't listen to him. He didn't mean it.
Don't worry. I've got Bulbasaur here from Moody. It's fine.
But yeah, no, I get you. Like, I enjoy watching you play Fortnite. Like you and Bex and Kate and whoever else you get on.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
I'll never play
it. Whether it's a game that you simply find fun or a game that grabs you, like Moody says. Video games, magic.
I'm gonna go on an interesting journey, I think, next year with the games that I play. I feel like 2022 and 2021 I really have broken like through that wall that I was talking about.
Don't worry.
Like, it's gonna be. Sorry, go on, Joe.
No. Don't worry, guys. Eventually, I'm gonna play Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's going to be a thing. Tune in for that. Moody, continue.
Like, I don't know what it looks like for me gaming next year. There's so many games coming out next year. Like, me and Amy have already prepped ourselves pretty much for our Fantasy Critic next year.
100%.
Yeah, like we're ready to go and everything like that. All these other schmucks who are joining us,
they don't know how prepared
what's going to happen, man. They don't know.
What happened is I took it seriously this year and wiped the floor with everybody, and that set off a signal for Moody to take it super seriously next year. And I don't think everyone's going to be prepared, because I don't think we've been doing this for 3 years now. This will be the 4th year we do it, and I don't think there's ever been a year where we're both taking it super seriously. These fools don't know what's coming for them. But to jump off
all of this, it was a fluke win, baby. Don't worry about it. You go back to Africa, okay, where you had a nice holiday.
But to jump off of your
Africa,
point,
right?
Yeah, she went to Africa on safari.
Okay,
I think it was safari. She almost got trampled by an elephant, so I think she went on safari. But like, to jump off your point about preparing for Fantasy Critic or whatever, like, on top of that, I also know that, like, I'm trying to get people on for, like, the big podcast we'll do next year where we do most anticipated games of the year, which is always one of my favorite podcasts, because we just spend 2 hours talking about games that we're excited about. And, like, I'm making a list. Like, last year, I think I had, like, 11 or 12, like, when I brutally cut it down. there's so many fucking games on this list, Moody, and I'm like, I'm looking at this list going, I can't take anything off of this. Like, I'm so excited for a lot of games that are coming out next year.
That's understandable.
Including Hollow Knight Silksong, finally.
They didn't give you a year.
Xbox said everything that's here is coming out in the next 12 months. It's coming. It's coming, Moody. Nobody can deny the Hollow Knight.
Was Hollow Knight attached to that 50 games?
It was.
You sure?
I am. There's evidence. We have a highlight clip of me being like, what the fuck is this doing at the Xbox showcase? So don't even try and gaslight me.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember.
But no, it's next year. Like we were talking, like this time last year. This 2022 looks stupid.
Yeah.
And then we moved.
Yeah, we fell for that really hard. We were like, oh,
we
fuck,
did.
everything
We
got
really
delayed,
did.
didn't it?
Shame Pokemon didn't move. But hey, whatever.
Don't understand.
Now
Like, you still had a
2023 is
Pokemon. Why would you have two? I don't know. Pokemon Company, Niantic, Nintendo.
I don't know. We talked about Pokemon later on. About news I had no idea about until I saw the show notes. I didn't know about this.
I love breaking news. It's great.
I didn't know about this. What's coming? Damn. Then I did research. Was like, oh shit, this is actually happening.
It's true.
It's
true.
We'll get back to it. We'll get to that.
We will.
Yeah, 2023 looks stupid. It does. It looks really stupid. And these are just and there's games we don't know that haven't been announced yet that are going to be coming next year. So it's like an F1, but F1's like, okay, where can we actually land here, people? January? No. February?
No.
Fuck no. March? No. April? Probably no.
I was looking at game release dates, and I was like, there's a fucking Fire Emblem game coming out right at the beginning of January, and I'm just like, you fucking kidding me? You're dropping a 100-hour JRPG on me right out of the gate. Fuck you, games industry.
Yeah. I won't be touching that. It's all good.
I love Fire Emblem. I love Fire Emblem. Like,
no, that's right for you. That's the thing. Like we were talking about games that speak to you. That game speaks to you, and I know you're ready for that, and you're gonna be
so ready for it.
Fucking give me that. Give me that big sirloin fucking steak right now, and everything, and you'll be ready for it, and you're gonna be fucking chowing down on that for 100+ hours.
In an alternate universe version of this podcast where we stayed mildly on topic, I probably did have some stuff to say about, like, I am that person who looks at a 100-hour game and is like, fuck yeah. But it's too late to do anything about it now.
It's daunting to me. But then I'm gonna hear Dragon Age is coming out and they're gonna say it's a 100-hour game. I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah.
But how long do you spend waiting for a bridge to get built?
Fuck yeah. 24 hours.
Would I eventually make that Dragon Age Inquisition video? Oh, I don't know. There's got to be a joke in there, and I don't know how hard I'm going to go in on that joke.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is about it, like, because I've been talking to my manager who loves Dragon Age, doesn't like Inquisition. We fight about it all the time. Well, he hates the one area of Inquisition that gets bugged about a lot and everything like that, but the rest of it, and because of that area, you couldn't complete the game. As I said, well, you should have pushed harder, you bastard. But either way, he loves Dragon Age 1 and 2, especially 1. And he's been trying to get me to play 1 and 2. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. And he said, can I play it on controller? And he just gave me the evil eyes. He said, no, you don't play this. You don't play 1 and 2 with controller. I said, well, I won't play it.
Yeah, you can. I literally played Dragon Age Origins on Xbox 360. Moody's manager, whoever you are out there, if you're listening, bad man. If you want to get Moody to play the game, you say yes. You can play it on a controller.
You can play it on a controller.
You need to tailor your message to your audience. You need to tailor your message to your audience.
Yeah, but no, it's but at the same time, because I love Dragon Age Inquisition, I have thought about, do I go
it's a very good
to
game.
Origin? Do I try Origins, the one everyone loves? And I'm just like, that's many hours.
It is.
But then I'm like, at the same time, it's like what you say, like you praise me for saying, I've straightened you out. You now don't worry about games that are coming out. I'm just like,
whoa, straightened me out. Can we use a different turn of phrase?
Something wrong with that word. It's not gonna hurt you. Don't worry, Amy. You're still gay. Don't worry, sweetheart. It's all good. Stick up your sign.
It's over there somewhere.
Oh, okay. I can't help you then.
Oh wait, no, it's not. It's here.
There you go. There you go, Amy. And yeah, but then things just like because of my job, I'm just like I can't be bothered to play anything. I'm just thinking, oh no, I'm not going to play anything I want to play. Oh no. Not that I'm not playing anything that I don't want to play at work. Just want to sit up. You don't know what I'm playing. You'll never know. Actually, you will know eventually.
Should we instead, before we get Moody fired, just after he's passed probation, should we talk about what I've been playing?
Nah, let's just move on to the indie game and we can go to the news.
I need to talk about what I've been playing.
Joe looks like he's falling asleep.
They gave me codes. I have to.
I'm just letting you guys roll along, you know.
Tip of the hat to you too.
Exactly, and also yes, I'll eventually fall asleep. You know, it's like Avatar: Way of the Water. I'll have a nap eventually, but you know, I'll keep vibing in the meantime.
So I played this cool game called Case of the Golden Idol.
Boom! Case of the Golden Idol. I've never heard of it. Tell me all about it, Amy.
For full disclosure, they gave me a code so I could play it and review it. They might have given me it fucking ages ago, and I might have only just got around playing it. That was my bad. I kind of had some stuff going on. But the Case of Golden Idol is a adventure puzzle game. Where basically it's like a narrative game, and like you've got this story that takes place over the course of 11 chapters. And I don't like the way Moody's smirking. It's like, I'm gonna get you, Medforce. Basically,
I'm gonna get good in Fortnite, and you're fucked.
I'm gonna fucking end you.
I'm just going in just to shoot you, motherfucker.
Just gonna string snipe
continue.
you.
Case of the Golden Idol.
Case of the Golden Idol. So it's like you get these 11 different chapters, and each chapter is like almost like a scene where something has happened. And it's like almost like a freeze frame of this thing that's happened. And usually the thing that's happened is someone is dead. And what you have to do is you basically have to figure out what the fuck's happening. Like, it's very much like a detective game. So you have to click around like it's a point and click almost. And you find all the different characters and all the different items, objects, things people are saying, and then you have to like solve the scene almost. So like you have to identify all of the people and who they are based on the clues that are in the environment and whatnot. And then like you'll have to solve, like there'll be other things that you have to solve. Like for example, there's one level where you have to figure out who was sat where at a dinner table, based on the food and the drinks and there's like a cigar at one point, like the stuff that's on the table, and that helps you figure out, like you can figure out like, oh, this person is a vegetarian because it's in this note that I found in this cupboard, so that person must have been sat here. And then, oh, this person's got a fork in their hand and there's a fork missing from this seat, so they must have been sat there. And then once you solve all of this like side stuff, like all of the other stuff, then you've got to drop all of the stuff into like, it's almost like a page out of like a storybook where it's like such and such did this, and then and like that's how you figure out. So basically it's a story game where you have to piece the story together yourself, essentially. It's a lot of fun. I'm describing it, I feel like, really well. It's a story where you have to work hard to figure out what the story actually is, but it's actually really fun. Like, if you like figuring stuff out, if you like puzzles, if you like detective games, like, and like feeling really smart because you figured out like who this person is, or like where this person was sitting, or like whose room this was, because there's a bag hanging out of the side of the window and it could only be one person because there's some candles in the cupboard and there's only one person who was talking about having candles, so that must be their room and therefore they did the thing. You know what I mean? Like, and piecing it all together and stuff. Like, you should play it. It's good.
If you enjoyed Curse of the Obra Dinn, it's exactly like that, but you should play this game, right?
Absolutely.
That's what I thought when you were describing.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual successor almost to Return of the Obra Dinn. I think this is a lot more.
Sorry, Return of.
Yeah, I think this is a lot more like intuitive and user friendly. And I'm speaking as somebody who Return of the Obra Dinn is one of what is a fucking amazing game. This is definitely like more approachable. But yeah, I loved it. Like, it was just fun. Like, to figure out what the hell is going on, and then like this as the story escalates and the puzzles escalate at the same time, and it's just like it goes places. It gets fucking weird, man. But it makes you feel so smart when you figure stuff out, because it's like a domino effect. You figure this one thing out, which lets you figure this other thing out, which lets you figure this other thing out, and then all of a sudden, you know who killed such and such, or you know like where all these people were. There's like one which is like a proper like whodunit, where it's like, where was everybody at the time that the body was found? You know.
That's it.
But,
that's it. You know.
But you have to. Even to that, you have to go a layer deeper, because like you have to so you assign people, or it's like, oh, the butler was here, and oh, the ambassador was here and stuff, but you have to figure out who those people are. Like, so it's not just like, oh, well, the butler was obviously here. It's like you got to figure out which one the butler was, and which one the gardener is, and which one the doctor is.
You're really putting it all together.
Yeah. So it's like you go through, like you'll see, like you'll figure out that the doctor's name was James, say, for example. It's like, okay, cool. So like James, and then you got to figure out which one James is, and then you got to figure out what his last name was. And I was like glued to my computer for like a couple of days playing this. And I'd love to brag and say I have 100% of the achievements, but like the only achievements in the game are when you finish the level. So if you finish the game, you get all the achievements. I don't know if that matters.
That's the kind of game I like.
I 100% of the game. I seem to be on a roll with 100% in games at the minute. And the second game I played broke my brain. And I'm going to try and do it justice. It's called the Entropy Centre. I got a review code for this as well. There might be a reason I played these two games this week on the week of our final podcast. The Entropy Centre is a puzzle game that I've been looking forward to for a while, which is it's going to get a lot of comparisons to Portal if it hasn't already. But it also has some shades of other games in there. But basically, the Entropy Centre is a puzzle game where you get a science gun, which is like it's like, if you're familiar with the concept of entropy, basically, you know, it involves time manipulation. And the premise of the game is you're in this place called the Entropy Centre. You solve puzzles with this entropy gun. It builds up entropy so that the Entropy Centre can rewind Earth and stop cataclysms. So like there's like some cute bits where it's like they rewound Earth and stopped the pandas from going extinct this one time. But like in partway through the game, you're the only one there. Everyone's gone. The place is falling apart, and then Earth blows up. So it's like, okay, we need to rewind Earth to fix this. And then there's like this cool like narrative that unfolds as it goes on. But the main thing for this is the puzzle game element, which is you have a science gun that can rewind objects up to 38.1 seconds. So basically, if you imagine like there's all sorts of different mechanics. So like cubes, and then there's different cubes that do different things. Like there's a bridge cube that like you put it down and it creates a light bridge that you can walk across. There'll be a laser cube, which is like you point a laser at a pad and it opens a door or whatever. But you have to solve all of the puzzles in reverse, essentially. So like, to try and explain how one puzzle works, I tried to do this when I played the demo in a video, and it was a disaster, so I'll try again here. But basically, if you imagine a box has to be on a pressure pad to open the final door, and you've only got the one box, but that box also needs to be on a different pressure pad to open the first door. So imagine there's two doors with two different pressure pads. You have to put the box on the final pressure pad, and then you have to pick it up and then put it on the first one, pick it back up and put it on the end one. And then you have to like rewind with the gun. You have to rewind the box. So essentially you use the gun to rewind whatever you've done with, say, a box, for example, over the course of 30 seconds. It's fucking mind-bending. I have yet to figure out a way to explain how it works. Go watch the trailer. It's like, for real.
It definitely sounds like a game that is best. You play it to figure it out.
You have to figure it out. You have to see it.
You learn by doing, right?
Yeah. You learn by doing or you learn by seeing. And yeah, it's essentially like the best way I could describe it is the way that they describe it, which is like, you solve puzzles by rewinding objects through time, which means that you basically have to solve puzzles backwards. And then you basically have to go through the game thinking in reverse.
That's it. That's the box quote. That's the trailer. That's fantastic. It sounds entirely beyond me until I get my hands on it.
Right.
It's the kind of like, now you're playing with portals. It's
right.
Actually, yeah. I think that we have Portal as a shorthand.
If you like Portal, you'll like the Entropy Centre. Like, it's a different concept, but the same type of game. Like, it has a lot of the Portal hallmarks. Like, it's got the funny AI. Like, your gun is a robot that talks, and the back and forth between between the gun and the character is really fun. They're really funny. It's a really funny game.
Old cut print.
The only thing I would say is the story is quite stretched. It's like they had ideas for, I think it's like 60 great puzzles, and the puzzles are consistently great all the way through, but they didn't have the story to match the length of the game. So like, you have to go through a lot of puzzles before you get the next big story beat, which sometimes you can be like, oh man, I wish I could just see what's going to happen next, but I got to get through these puzzles. But paradoxically, at the same time, the puzzles are still fun. Like, I'm still having a good time solving these puzzles. So, it wasn't a deal breaker. It's a fun game. You should play it. And I'm done. Those are the games that I played.
And they are... Case of the Golden Idol is available on PC, it would seem. And
it is.
The Entropy Centre is available on all platforms except for Nintendo Switch, which is absolutely fine.
If the Entropy Centre was available on Nintendo Switch, my Nintendo Switch would have burst into flames.
Yeah, because you'd just be playing. Yeah.
The technical requirements for rewinding specific objects in environments. The Switch would have just gone, I'm out. You're on your own.
Amazing.
Rewind itself.
I could see it happening. It may well.
It might, with the proper optimization. I'm sure it would. But that was it. Those are the games that I played for the last time in 2022.
And games I hadn't heard of, I think, until now. So I appreciate knowing about.
I'm here to serve. I think. Am I here, Moody? Am I here to serve?
Yep.
Oh man, don't make me make choices. I crumble. Should we do a little indie game of the week and then get into the news?
No, you got another thing there. You said, don't you?
Well, I mean, do you want to do that? Like, because I know you want to get into the news.
Yeah, I've just been listening to you. That's all I've been doing. You were talking. I was listening to you.
What's on your Christmas gaming backlog, Moody? We've got a Game of the Year podcast in 3 weeks. What ridiculously, like, never gonna happen games are you gonna play, like, over Christmas?
Honestly, fuck all.
I mean, that wouldn't a character. We've both done that for the last 2 years.
Yeah. It's gonna. They hope I do hope to hopefully play a Plague Tale Requiem. I do want to try that. I love the first one. I really want to give that a go. I want to play Cult of the Lamb. I think that, and I want to try Stray, just like what you said, Stray. Will I get round to it? I honestly haven't got a freaking clue whatsoever. Hopefully I will. And everything. A couple of things like they're on Game Pass, like Pentiment. Hopefully, but I'm not guaranteeing it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like Pentiment, it's not a Moody game. I don't think there's a lot of reading in that game. And I've only played like the first hour.
Oh, don't say that to me, Amy.
I'm just trying to help you
I
avoid
know.
a game that I don't think will be for you. Plus, it frees you up to play it straight.
That's true.
Which is a moody game because there's a cat game. There's a cat in it.
Yeah, I'll call it Catra.
Catra, yeah, do it.
Yeah, call it Catra.
Moody's definitely playing.
That is the hope. Like, I finally, at long last, this is really funny. This Callisto Protocol turned up yesterday.
Oh, I still don't have. So, yeah, I'm still waiting on. So I got 3 games dispatched by Boomerang like a week ago.
Yeah,
not all on the same day.
Yeah,
I've got one of them. Like, I'm still waiting on 2 of them.
I don't know. I have no intention of playing Crystal Ball. I'm going to be returning instantly.
That's shame.
I just have no interest in playing it at all. Like, when a game fucks me over and allows Elf to beat me, then I just have to say, fuck you, Crystal Protocol. I just have to say, fuck you. Like, seriously? It sounds like it's a lazy-ass game anyway, so going off what I'm hearing, so... a person I work with who loves like that Dead Space type of feel and everything like Dead Space 2 is his favorite game, and he was just like, "This is not a good game." And I was just like, "That's a shame. That's a shame." And the worst thing is, it just seems like it screams everything what you and me were talking about when the things came out about crunch and everything. They were praying to God that Dead Space was going to move. They were praying it. That's why they held off till December. They knew they needed to get out before Dead Space Remake, but they knew they couldn't come out the same month as Dead Space Remake, so they went 2022 Christmas.
And it's worked out really well for them.
Yeah, apparently. They can't even get the game in Japan, so...
I did not know that.
Yeah, you did. We talked about it. The rating board.
I knew that. Oh, yeah, the ratings thing. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. There's too many bloods in Callisto Protocol for it to be released in Japan, apparently. Yeah, I mean...
they have an anime called Attack on Titan that allows them to eat people.
But how much blood's in it?
A lot! A lot!
Can I drop a Titan into a blender? That's the one thing I remember from all of the Callisto Protocol footage Jeff Keighley made me watch.
Made you watch?
He did. He made me watch it.
Do you know anything on your backlog at all?
Backlog would imply that I have games that of this year, like I own or want to own, and therefore should play over Christmas. That's not a thing. Like, genuinely, I wish I could say that I have a backlog. Technically, there is one. It's like, a whole bunch of games that I have, like, I never played BioShock. Like, I have played BioShock, but I've never, like,
I haven't played it either.
BioShock.
I don't intend to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't necessarily intend to either.
I do.
Hey, you
go,
what?
Amy.
You know what? Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, boys and girls. Let's get it. There's bongos,
How much do I need to donate to the Joe Medforce coffee page to get you to play more of that Incredible Hulk game on Twitch?
Shit. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, that's in the Christmas game backlog. Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, which cost me £28. So if someone can donate at least £28, then I'll finish.
You would have broken even, huh?
Ultimate Destruction, yeah. I'll be happy to break even on that one. There we go. Yeah, Ko-fi.com/Joe Medforce. Good. That's a damn good time. Hulk got put in Fortnite, and I had fun with that.
Hulk with a gun. What a concept.
Yeah. Hulk with a gun. He doesn't need them in this because, as it says on the back of the box, the world is your weapon. Epic boss battles and unstoppable movement. Ultimate destruction. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, Stone Cold classics. Only on Nintendo GameCube, baby. 20 years old and young at the same time. And so that's my Christmas gaming backlog. What's the next?
Mine.
I thought I did, sorry.
No, you just just because games are the same. Like, I don't know, Pentiment and Strayer 2 that I definitely want to play, like I mentioned earlier. And then after that, it's like a nebulous list of games that I would like to play. Like, there's this point-and-click adventure game called The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, which a lot of people that I follow on Twitter, if I still have a Twitter account, like, really loved.
You will.
Give it a week. Like, so like I'm looking, like I would like to try and play that. Pokemon Legends Arceus, you know, after we talked about it, it's like I deleted Scarlet and I got Pokemon Legends Arceus sent to me because I was like, if I wanted to play a Pokemon game after everything I've heard about these two games, it's gonna be this one. Crisis Core, I did actually get that sent, so if it ever turns up, maybe I'll whack Crisis Core in. Although I might just save that for later, like closer to Rebirth coming out in 2024. And then after that, yeah, like Return to Monkey Island, I'd love to play that. Lost in Play, I'd love to play that. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I only played Unpacking the day we recorded the Game of the Year podcast. Last year. So who even knows? 2 years ago, instead of playing games for Game of the Year consideration, I played Bloodborne twice. So
yeah, you did. That's true.
We'll see, but it's an interesting question, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. So
let's talk about Indie Game of the Week.
Yeah, go on. Why not?
The Indie Game of the Week for the final time in 2022. This is the thing we do every single week where we talk about like a cool looking upcoming indie game. That's it. That's the whole premise. This week's Indie Game of the Week is called Imperial Grace. Imperial Grace is a visual novel / automata game focusing on politics and romance in an imaginary medieval world. As the new Empress of Calidia, your choices will determine your future and your kingdoms, so rule wisely. Play as a strong and ambitious woman and hold an entire country in the palm of your hand. Thanks to the many choices offered throughout the game and the avatar customization options, become the Empress you want to be. Fall under the charm of the three love interests and their flamboyant personalities and discover the kingdom of Calidia through colourful and well-developed secondary characters. Guide your subjects by addressing their petitions and navigate the crises unsettling your realm. It's up to you to tackle the many dilemmas that will change the history of Calidia for better or for worse. Enjoy the story with infinite resources or spice up your game by wisely managing your kingdom's resources, making each choice even more difficult. Imperial Grace is being developed by Synstoria and published by Abiding Bridge and is coming, quote, when the Empire is ready, end quote, to PC via Steam. There's a link in the description down in the Steam store page. You can go and wishlist the game. You should wishlist indie games. Really helps the developers out. I'm sure as Moody can attest. Yes. And then go watch the trailer. There's a demo. You can play the demo. It's all good. We're all good. For the final episode of 2022, the table of contents fucking broke. I just tried to refresh it. It's fucked. It's broke.
Don't touch it, Moody, because you'll break it. It's very then it
broke.
Work.
It broke. It fucking. I hit refresh and it's like, ooh, if you add headings, like I did add headings. Google Docs being all snooty about me with my headings.
I can clearly see that.
So you tell me where we're going, and I will quickly scroll through the document and try and figure out where that is.
You know where I'm going first.
Oh,
you know where I'm going first.
The Pokémon anime bids farewell to Ash with the reveal of a new series. This is from Marcus Stewart over at Game Informer. He writes, after 25 years, the latest season of the Pokémon anime saw protagonist Ash Ketchum finally achieve his dream of becoming Pokémon World Champion. Now that he's reached the top of the mountain, the series is giving the perpetually young hero his last hurrah before kicking off a fresh adventure starring a new cast of characters. The Pokemon Company announced that beginning January 13th in Japan, Ash and Pikachu's final chapter begins. It consists of 11 special episodes serving as a grand send-off celebrating the duo's achievements. It also features some familiar faces from Ash's past, including Misty and Brock. Sometime later in the year, a new yet-to-be-titled animated series set in Scarlet and Violet's Paldea region kicks off. It stars two young trainers, Liko and Roy, joined by the three starters of that region, Brigatido, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. The trailer also teases the appearance of a shiny Rayquaza. Hope I pronounced any of those right.
I think you did well there.
Talk about being the best like no one ever was while I go and refill my drink.
Seriously, everyone's left me.
And hopefully Joe comes back. I'll be back in a sec. I'm just getting a drink.
Damn, I did not know about this until I saw the show notes, and then I checked the internet. And as you already know, as I've spoke about on the show, Ash Ketchum finally became the Pokemon World Champion. Basically became a master. Even though he says he still isn't a master, he's really weird. Whatever. But everyone's been wondering, probably what can you do with him next? He's the best in the world. What do you do with him next? What is it? Can you actually do with him next? So everyone's been wondering, did they continue with it? Did they continue with Ash Ketchum or did they not? And now they've made the decision. So Ash Ketchum is finally fucking retiring at just a little old age of 10 years old still. He is retiring as the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, basically, in Pokemon. Him and Pikachu are going off to have their final adventure, basically send-off of 11 episodes, a grand send-off in celebration of the duo. There's already been a hint or a scene where Butterfree apparently comes back, and I'm just like, no, you cannot fucking do this. You cannot bring Butterfree back and make us cry again. No, you already sent them off in the first season. Don't do this. And whatnot, and see what else they're gonna do next. I don't know, but I'm intrigued to see what they're gonna do with the next show. See what they're gonna do next and see where they're gonna go and everything. But yeah. For God's sakes, like how he's world champion, you can't take him to a new. Basically, unless you do a story so good where it's okay that the world champion loses, but doesn't lose the title, and yet somehow gains it back or wins his match back, it wouldn't make sense. And so they put themselves into a corner, and they basically have to retire Ash. Basically, and finally, at long last, everyone was asking him, should he retire after he won not the Orange League, what league was it? The Sun and Moon League. I'll just call it the Sun and Moon Games. He won the league there. So Alola, when he won the Alola League. So everyone was wondering, should he have retired then? They kept going with him, and now they've made him world champion. Yes, you have to retire, Ash. Fuck off. Go away. Finally turn 11, for fuck's sakes.
I'm just looking forward to the next level. You're like, what's next? Ash Ketchum goes to college. Ash Ketchum finally hits puberty, and learns
in that order.
Exactly, yeah. Not necessarily in that order, but
it's fucking 35.
How I did it.
And he still looks 10.
I just you gotta wonder, don't you? And then it's like, oh, come on, it's interesting, isn't it? The fact that actually every couple of years you get it's like, new status quo for the Pokemon series,
new generation.
the mainline games, new generation, exactly. Yeah. And just what they did, because the anime was so popular and Ash was such a touchstone for a generation, genuinely. They ended up.
He's a touchstone for 2 generations, really. Sorry for putting in there.
Oh no,
he's
no,
a touchstone
completely,
for mine,
completely.
And then he's a touchstone for say the teenagers of when I was a young 20-year-old and everything like that. He's still, yeah. But go on.
No,
sorry.
it's completely, and it's unfortunate that I think that actually waiting this long to say goodbye to Ash in this sense means that for at least someone like me who has not kept up with the anime because it's been a quarter century basically, yes, I got emotional in Pokemon the first movie when we thought, spoilers, Ash was dead or turned to stone, but it wasn't necessarily, that clearly they decided not to go the Transformers, animated movie route and just actually kill off the main characters so they could sell more toys.
Why?
Because the Pokemon were always the true draw. It's a moment in time, and farewell the eternal pre-adolescent
10-year-old.
that is, the eternal 10-year-old is Ash Ketchum, and we'll see what happens next with the anime of it all in terms of Pokemon.
The new one I think is meant to start in April, May or something like that. I think they're aiming for. So the next 11 episodes, which starts 13th of January, leading up to it. And yeah, it's gonna be like I don't really watch the anime. I just really watch it when they get into the Pokemon Leagues parts and some of the battles. If I hear a battle's really good, then I have a look at it. Or if something really emotional has happened. Like they did a couple of emotional episodes in the Alola region, the Sun and Moon games. That was a show, which was actually really touching. It was some about death and everything. And I was thinking, wow, that's actually, and they do it really well. They did it really well in some of them. But yeah, it's so I only really keep an eye on it when it gets to okay, finally get into a Pokemon League. Will he actually do it? And then he obviously eventually did it when he won the Alola League, which I was thinking he's never going to win it. Win it. I don't care what everyone says. He's never going to win it, and he did. I woke up with Twitter. Holy shit, he won it! I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw that he won the world champion. I was thinking, the 4-part episode of him winning the world championship is fucking amazing. That final episode, it is probably the best episode of Pokemon ever. And I know that's a lot to say because it's thousands of them or 1,000 episodes or whatever. And it's but it's amazing. If you ever wanted to watch an episode or more episodes, Joe, just watch the 4 episodes of the World Championship final. The final episode, I don't care who you are, and it will hit you because it's really good. It is a really good.
I do. It's one of those things where actually, to close the loop on it, I'd like to check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's the dub's not far from it. If you feel like you can just do dubbed or something like that, the dubbed is not far away. I think the dub's just started the World Championship tournament, so it's it's not far. So it's about, I give it 20 episodes behind. So
I wouldn't actually. Here's what I will say: I wouldn't even know the way to if it's possible, legally watch Pokemon here in the UK. If I wanted to watch the Pokemon anime, it's not on a Crunchyroll, is it? I don't know.
I don't think it is, no.
Yeah, my brain is still remember Kids WB back in the day?
I remember that, man. I remember that.
You can watch Pokemon streaming on Sky Go, Amazon Prime Video, Netflix, or buy it as a download on iTunes or Google Play.
There's no way it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it is, but it's not. It's the latest. It's not the full season yet. They've got Journeys on there. Journeys is on it because that's what it's called right now, Pokemon Journeys. And they have got the one that's leading up to it, but they haven't got the new episodes onto it yet.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's gonna be
always happy to help.
Yeah. All right.
And also, there's 1,200. There's over 1,200 episodes of the Pokemon anime, and I'm still waiting on the Young Brock series. When are we gonna get the origins of that head case and his obsession with the nurses and the officer Jennies of the Pokemon world.
All right, Amy, Tomb Raider. Let's go, Tomb
Raider.
What's the top?
I know, man. I'm waffling to fill in the time because I got to scroll around. The next Tomb Raider will be published by Amazon Games. This is from Sean Murray over at The Gamer. He writes, more details on the upcoming Tomb Raider title currently in development at Crystal Dynamics. Amazon Games has announced a partnership agreement in which it will serve as publisher for the new multi-platform Tomb Raider game, quote, providing full support and publishing the game globally, end quote. And then a bunch of people waffled about how excited they are about working on Tomb Raider. And that's the story. I don't think there's any actual information in there, is there? It's going to be a narrative game, single player. Yep. That's Tomb Raider.
It's basically more, it's just like they've got money from Amazon to help to publish this game and everything like that. They'll be help financing this game. And if it helps the game become a better game and everything like that, that's better than nothing at the end of the day. Amazon, obviously, is a very contentious thing for a lot of people, which is understandable. But if it can help, that's a great thing because everyone loves the Tomb Raider franchise. Obviously, we're disappointed with how Square Enix handled the whole situation with the crystal dynamics and everything like that. And hopefully, they'll be given time and they can just put out a fabulous game when it comes out because it's all we want. Like what we were talking about earlier, we want to have fun games to play and enjoy, have a great time and everything. And hopefully, they can bring Lara Croft back and rejuvenate because I think that last game really didn't help her personally. Obviously, yes, the mixture of with how Square Enix were talking about it, like what you said, Amy, many times. Keith had no idea the third Tomb Raider was coming out at all because they weren't really marketing it very well whatsoever, that's shame on them and everything. It's disgusting to think that they would do that. And hopefully now with Amazon, love or hate Amazon. Amazon's a big fish out there, and like they have the power, the publishing behind that, and hopefully they help with that and actually market this pretty well as well. You could have a really
if
really
nothing else,
game,
right? You're going to be getting a load of Twitch ads on about Tomb Raider.
Yeah. I may not watch Twitch anymore, as I basically deleted my account. Gotta keep on going.
Here's what I will quickly throw in there as adjacent to this Tomb Raider news. If anyone hasn't watched the 30-year history of Crystal Dynamics no-clip documentary, it's a must-watch in my mind if you care even remotely about that studio and the history of Tomb Raider and so many of the other amazing games that they brought to us over the years. Not perfect by any means, but which dev publisher is at this point. And still, Lara Croft is a character and Tomb Raider is a series that means a lot to a lot of people. And so, as was mentioned, if the most recent game didn't quite hit it in the way people wanted it to, there is that hope that with some a good financial push from the likes of Amazon and some support in that regard, they'll be able to make it work and almost you have to reinvent a series that has as long a tail and legacy as something like Tomb Raider. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. And I think actually, rather than obviously what we saw at the moment, we talked about Amazon being this big fish. It's like I thought to mind like, oh god, no, don't like Google Stadia this. And it's like actually that was a company probably trying to do too much, whereas actually if there's space for it and they've got the capital and obviously they see it as a smart financial move, there's maybe there's a little light within that cave to be the tombs to be raided yet. That was forced, I'm sorry, but that's it.
Hey man, if I have to live in this capitalist hellscape with all these billionaires, at least they can give me some good video games.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like people forget that Amazon have their own gaming thing, which is called Luna. So they
did specifically mention it would be multi-platform, though. Thankfully, they got that right out of the way.
I didn't think they were ever going to exclusive this to Luna whatsoever.
But yes, they do have Luna.
But yeah.
It is interesting that everyone always forgets about Luna, though.
Amazon don't talk about it.
I know it's weird, isn't it? Like New World.
Now they just
remember New World?
Until you just brought it up again now, Moody. I was like, wait, I didn't think about it the whole time we were talking about Amazon. I didn't think about, it'll come out on Luna. Like,
Rise of the Tomb Raider was a great game, though. So I love that game.
That's the second one.
Yeah. The one that was Xbox exclusive for a year.
Yeah. The first and second one I think were absolutely exceptional because the first one I still think is overall better because it brought her back.
It brought
I think in an incredible way, and I thought it was just a game that I didn't have anything on my radar for, and then it was just like everyone was saying this is a good game, and I played. I was like, yeah, this is a great game, guys. This is really good, and yet there's no doubt about it. We all know the exclusivity to Xbox fucking hurt it. It hurt the game, and then obviously they put it out on a stupid time as well. Because then
I was going to say
Fallout
came out at the same time as Fallout 4.
yeah, which is just stupid.
Which my thoughts on Fallout 4 aside, this was a stupid thing to do.
yeah, no doubt. Like you can objectively know that. I may not like this franchise, but that's a big franchise. You don't stand in the way of that.
I'm personally going to play Tomb Raider over Fallout, but man,
you fucking idiots.
You fuck yourselves,
yeah. And then after, because of what happened there, they obviously didn't help it when it came to number 3 and everything. But either way, Xbox addresses lack of game presence. Game Award presence.
Xbox addresses lack of Game Awards presence, promises, quote, incredibly exciting, end quote, 2023. This is from Victoria Kennedy over at Eurogamer. He writes, last week it was the Game Awards. Yes, I remember.
Still going, isn't it?
Yeah, might be. I think Chris Judge is still giving a speech.
Giving a speech, yeah.
This annual event is a chance for developers and publishers to showcase their upcoming slate of games with a smattering of awards in there as well. Victoria, love you. Love your writing. 10 out of 10. Love the shade. However, following this year's show, many couldn't help but notice that Microsoft's offering seemed remarkably sparse. In fact, all we really got was a little games here and coming in 2023 teaser from the team, but nothing particularly firm. Despite this being the ideal opportunity to do so, we still have not had specific release dates announced for the likes of Starfield or Redfall, two of Xbox's biggest upcoming exclusives. Xbox has now addressed those feeling a bit let down, promising that despite appearances, 2023 will be, quote, incredibly exciting year, end quote, for its fans. Resharing Microsoft's promotional Game Pass reel, Xbox exec Aaron Greenberg stated the team has, quote, a lot planned to show and share for next year. Appreciate folks are eager to learn and see more. Timing is always key, but don't worry, you will not have to wait too long for what's next from us, end quote. I saw this shared as somebody who wrote an article, and I'm not going to say who it was, even though I have beef with them from previous podcast episodes. And he shared an article with the title, Xbox's, I can't remember the exact title, but I remember the phrasing, where it's like, oh, Xbox's no-show at the Game Awards is a slap in the face. And I just looked at that pop up on my Twitter, and I was just like, my God, can we just chill for a sec? It's a slap. It's a slap in the face.
Who's talking? In that case, Nintendo's no-show at the Game Awards is a slap in the face. No one gives a shit. Like, you know, I love what the Game Awards stand for, and I have enjoyed watching them. And I think it's great that we have this thing that can recognize and of course advertise you know, all that is to come and be in the games of the forthcoming year and the year that has passed. But the idea that a slap in the face, no it's not like it's just they weren't there because they didn't see it as a prudent marketing opportunity, and who cares? Oh, God, people are
a slap in the face. It was hard to get past that.
They're clutching at straws for news and scandals. Clearly, like
that's what journalists do in any medium. Do you not realize this, Joe?
Yeah.
Journalists sucks.
Some journalists suck.
Pardon?
Some journalists suck.
Yeah, journalists suck. See, we all agree.
Some journalists suck.
Speak up, Amy. We can't hear you.
I said, shut up, Moody. God, speaking to you is like a slap in the face.
I respect
what
that.
The fuck, man? Like, why? It's not a slap in the face, man. Like, sometimes I look at, like, the hype machine that like, powers the video game industry, and I really do sometimes think, and that's someone who's part of that hype machine, right? Like, if I'm excited for something, y'all are gonna fucking hear about it. But like, sometimes it is just like get a grip, man. Like for real, get a grip.
I think more than anything, I think this was more a slap in the face to Jeff fucking Keighley. Because he's built himself up to be the person that I'm going to bring the people together to show off all these games and everything like that, and put on a crappy fucking awards show when he doesn't barely give any awards out to even allow people to fucking talk, you fucking prick.
Jesus Christ.
Where he just...
What was in that ice cream?
Salted caramel, and it salted me up.
Salty, really salty
right now.
Pretty fucking salty right now. Jesus.
But no, I think this is potentially. I might be again speaking right out my ass here, but this potentially for me, like PlayStation weren't really there either. They did this demo thing, but other than that, they weren't really there. Which is just like, well, okay, why aren't you bitching about them? But they weren't really there that much compared to...
No one was.
Yeah.
Like,
so
none of the big
like,
three. I mean, Doug Bowser was there and Phil Spencer was there.
And Phil Spencer turned up to talk.
Jim Ryan
was never going to show the fuck up.
Surprisingly didn't show up for some reason.
Because he was afraid he'll get booed because he's not liked compared to the other ones and everything. But no, for me, I think this is incredibly telling potentially, hopefully, that this is them deciding... We don't need you, Jeff, whatsoever to do our advertisement on your thing. We can do this ourselves, or heck, we're going to wait until E3 and we're going to do a big splash at E3. Maybe, hopefully. Like we've talked before, you and me, like thinking we would love to see E3 be E3 again, but they don't need to. They can do it their own way and everything like that, and that's what Microsoft like. People, sometimes I think people forget Microsoft are a fucking $1 trillion company, people. They don't even need to worry about Xbox whatsoever. Jesus, man. I think people completely forget that they're buying Activision for what? $70 billion? For fuck's sakes, and it's not even a fucking touch into their war chest. Chill the fuck out, you freaking idiots. And you muppet who wrote this article, I know who you're talking about, Amy, and he's a bloody idiot. Yeah, he's a... You go back to your Teslas, mate. You go back to your Teslas.
Colin Moriarty podcast. Who said that?
That's what I think this is more than anything.
Yeah. It's I mean, yeah, sure. Like, okay, Redfall and Starfield are supposed to be coming out in the first half of 2023. So, like, it would have been cool to see one of them. But it's not like... I mean, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, right? Like,
yeah.
You fucking see what's coming out in the first half of 2023. I don't need anything more. Thanks. Yeah. I'm good. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe Xbox are going to do their own thing, like they have done in the past, quite early in like calendar years.
Yeah.
And even Aaron Greenberg hinted it there. He's like, "Don't worry, you won't have to wait too long." I mean, fucking PlayStation have abandoned State of Plays at this point and just seem to release everything on their fucking blog. So, like, God knows where Xbox is gonna.
Yeah. Everyone was asking, "Where's God of War Ragnarok, people? Where's God of War Ragnarok, people?" Well, came out, you fucking idiots, and you haven't stopped talking about it. So shut the freaking hell up.
All right.
They've decided to advertise differently.
Yeah.
You don't need Jeff fucking up his own stinking ass Keighley to do their own advertisement for them. So, fuck you, Keighley. No one needs you anymore. I don't like him.
Good lord, I never would have guessed.
He's an annoying pain in the ass who's so far up his own fucking ass. It's what his award show gets thousands of eyes on. And if you're a AA or an indie game developer, it's a perfect place for you. But AAA development does not need to be there, and they know that. The publishers, the big publishers,
they're there
big
anyway.
Console publishers don't need to fucking be there.
Well,
but you know what I mean.
No. But what I mean is they're there anyway because they're the ones who get presented the awards that get presented on the stages. So they're already there anyway. Like how many? I made the joke last week. Like how? Like I've heard the words "God of War Ragnarok" like 1 billion times when I was watching the Game Awards last week.
Until the final 2 awards, where everyone thought it was going to win.
Where everyone thought it was where it was Elden Ring. Because of course it was.
Did they La La Land this?
If I said we had time for one more quick one, Hit me with a quick one. I know what it. In fact, I don't hit me with a quick one. I already know.
Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill. Give me Henry Cavill, baby.
I was gonna start. I was
man.
gonna start reading it before you said it but then I didn't get there fast enough.
Take
Henry
me to my man.
Cavill.
Take me to Britain's ass.
Henry Cavill is set to produce and star in an entire Warhammer 40,000 cinematic universe. This is from Molly Taylor over at PC Gamer, who writes, "It's official. After rumors began circulating that Henry Cavill was in talks with Amazon to produce and star in a Warhammer 40,000 series, we've had an official announcement confirming that it's happening. Kind of. The reality is much better. It's not just a TV series that's in the works, it's a whole-ass cinematic universe. The deal was unveiled on Warhammer's community site, confirming that Amazon Studios has officially secured the rights to create a whole slate of Warhammer 40,000 goodies, with the agreement encompassing, quote, rights to the universe across series, film, and more, end quote. The W40KCU will, quote, sit alongside GAW's activities as they continue to make the best miniatures in the world, end quote. The announcement also confirmed that Henry Cavill is set to star and executive produce, quote, across all Amazon Studios productions, end quote. Cavill wrote in an Instagram post, quote, for 30 years, I have dreamt of seeing a Warhammer universe in live action. Now, after 22 years of experience in this industry, I finally feel that I have the skill set and experience to guide a Warhammer cinematic universe into life, end quote. Cavill also expressed his excitement for the deal in the announcement, quote, I have loved Warhammer since I was a boy, making this moment truly special for me. The opportunity to shepherd this cinematic universe from its inception is quite the honor and the responsibility. I couldn't be more grateful for all the hard work put in by Vertigo, Amazon, and Games Workshop to make this happen. One step closer to making a nigh-on lifelong dream come true, end quote.
It's not like it's happening if it happens. But let's be real. Henry Cavill, I love the man. I don't know him personally. He's very handsome. When he reloads his fists in the Mission Impossible, I'm there for it. He looks so good in the Superman suit. He got completely shafted with that. But when they were like W40KCU. No, don't make it. Just make it a good thing that people want to see, and then we're there. There was a big Warcraft movie that was made, and it was gonna set up all of the sequels and all of the. No one fucking cared. No, it didn't do it. It's like. Don't put the cart before the horse is the thing, and certainly don't do it for Henry Cavill, who by all accounts is a lovely man who needs to stop having his dreams crushed by these big money people, because he was like, hey, 2 months ago
I'm
he was
Superman.
like,
I didn't feel bad about that.
I'm back, Superman, baby. And then it's like, sorry, Henry, not gonna happen. You got to be in, you barely got to be Superman in, 2.5 movies, and now, we're going a different way with it. And then he clearly loves hard, but I genuinely hope that he has lots of money which he can in future put towards painting Warhammer miniatures personally and living his best like PC building nerd life, because it just this feels like one of those announcements of something that just like who's clamoring for the Warhammer cinematic universe? Yes, there's fans of Warhammer. I used to be a person who went to Games Workshop and painted my own Space Marines, but it's not. It doesn't have that cultural cachet. It doesn't have that same thing, and it sucks for Henry Cavill because, damn, I just want that. I want this man. I want this man to have a win. I want it to be good for him, but. You know what? It might not be on the cards for him for the rest of his days. Clearly, anyway,
Moody, go,
Moody, go.
How many of the general audience do you think knew about The Witcher or anything about The Witcher? None of the general game TV audience knew anything about The Witcher, and it became a phenomenon because of him. Because of him and the great and how great the show was and everything. and one viral song, which is fantastic. Toss the coin to your Witcher. And everything like that. I completely agree. He was shafted on Superman. Partly, I'm going to say this. I love this man at the bits, but fuck you, The Rock. Fuck you.
Jesus Christ. Is there anybody we're not calling out tonight?
No. This is the thing. You don't know because of what he did. The guy pushed Warner Brothers and called on Warner Brothers to get him back and everything, to get him in to do that cameo for Black Adam. Then thinking, because he knew his film sucks. Let's just be frank. I've seen it. It sucks. So what he did was, let's get Henry Cavill in so we can set up the future of Black Adam for Black Adam versus Superman and everything like that. And this movie didn't make money, because of that, Warner Brothers decided we're gonna start reboot all of it all together, and that's what they decided. I have no problem with them rebooting whatsoever, but The Rock pushing on them to get Henry Cavill back and everything for his film to fail is partly on him.
No, most certainly. But equally, The Rock is not an arbiter in charge of...
He's an executive on this film. He's pushed for 10 years on this movie.
On that film, yes. But he is not the rights holder for the character of Superman.
I don't disagree there. You're not wrong there.
I think there is a much bigger shit show and mismanagement happening at Warner Brothers Discovery than The Rock is responsible for, and as such, it's not entirely on him. Also,
partly on him.
Yeah, no, most certainly, yeah. But he is just because he is, he ain't. People know The Rock. People know Dwayne The Rock Johnson. People don't necessarily know Zaslav and the actual executives and the moneymakers and the real people who are actually making these decisions behind closed doors. He's a very easy scapegoat, and that's not to say that he is without fault, because he's not. I think that there is and I definitely see your point about The Witcher, but the other thing is that this Warhammer cinematic universe isn't coming to like Netflix. And also with The Witcher, you have a character of Geralt, right? Like you have him as a potential, like as an audience in, a main character who you can cast a good looking actor in. It's interesting as well that Henry Cavill's quotes from that were like, getting in on the ground floor, crafting this cinematic universe was what he was talking about. Because no one's talking about, Willie the Warhammer, or Simon the Space Marine from Warhammer 40k. Come on, the narrative is just not. It's there. There is so much lore from the Warhammer universe, but I don't think we're gonna have a Witcher situation with this on our hands.
That could potentially happen. I don't disagree with what you're saying there, but I don't know anything about Warhammer whatsoever. All I know is it's little sticky things at a shop, and people paint them.
Henry Cavill really likes painting them.
Really likes them and everything. And fair play to the man and everything like that. And apparently he knows the law like crazy and everything like that. But we don't know what the script is. We don't know what the universe is going to be. We don't know what the shows are going to be and everything like that. And at the end of the day, for me, why not just go for it? If they've got a plan for this and it comes out and it's fucking brilliant, that's fantastic, and it doesn't hurt anybody. We get a great show.
Oh no, I hope so. I hope it succeeds. I just don't.
And you can easily create a brand new character for everyone to fall in love with.
What if Henry Cavill just played himself?
Fucking-tastic. Give me that now.
Like in the Warhammer universe, he just went around like spray painting like mechs,
and everyone will watch that.
Hell yeah!
It's the Lego movie, but Warhammer, and Henry Cavill is like the Will Ferrell.
Yo,
like,
Henry, call us. We got some ideas. We got some ideas for your cinematic universe. Don't worry. No, man. Like, whatever. It's a TV show. Like, or whatever. I don't know what they're going to do first. I'm guessing they're going to do some kind of TV series.
That probably is the first thing.
Because that was the rumor, right? That was the initial rumor, was it was going to be a series starring Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, like, the thing that I have a contentious, like, history with Warhammer, just of the fact that a lot of the stuff I've played or, like, experience of Warhammer has not been great. But the fact that they've got someone...
There's Warhammer movies?
Yeah. There's like movies and animations and games and video games.
Oh, there was games. I didn't know there was movies.
Case in point, mic drop.
But it's a good sign that they've got someone so passionate about it, so driving it. And that to me, like, that makes me want to see it because he's passionate about it. And I think people who are passionate about things make great things.
Oh, that's I'll never agree with that.
Let me rephrase that. People who are passionate about things can make great things.
Yeah.
I'd rather Henry Cavill gave it a shot than some guy who knows nothing about Warhammer.
Let me reframe
it. Let me reframe it. Like it would be like someone making a Halo TV series who didn't know anything about Halo.
Apparently, the girl who's playing Ellie in Last of Us never played The Last of Us.
It's just the actors. I'm not talking about the actors. I'm talking about the people who are creating the thing. The people who are writing and producing it.
She needs knowledge of Ellie.
I never said she needs knowledge of Ellie. Like, in fact, it's better if she doesn't because she's making her own actress. No, Moody, no, you're going to be a dick about this. I'm going to fucking be a pedant back to you. What I said was a person who is creating it. She is the actress who is playing the role of Ellie in The Last of Us TV show. In fact, it's better that she doesn't know that because she can bring her own interpretation to it. What I'm talking about is the people who are creating the actual thing. It would be if you're going to recreate The Last of Us on the TV screen, it would be pretty good if the people who were creating it actually knew about The Last of Us. Case in point, the Halo TV show that everybody's still talking about.
Are they?
Exactly. That was my point. No one's talking about it because it was terrible.
Yeah, got a second season. And I'm pretty sure it's signed for a third as well. So.
Oh, yeah. Because no terrible TV show has ever lasted past one season.
I know The Expanse was so bad it lasted only one season.
Oh, my God, Moody. I didn't know what the fuck was in that ice cream, but I swear to God. Let's not end 2022 with me fucking.
Moody.
Let's not end 2022 with me fucking killing you.
Thank God we're nowhere near each other.
I can get to you by December 31st. Don't you worry about that.
I don't know where I'm at. Yeah, but no, I don't disagree with what you're saying there. I'm just taking the spit the piss.
Here's me trying to inject some positivity into it, and I'm getting well actually.
Well, actually,
go fuck yourself.
Me, Henry Cavill, what we could do to each other. I mean, what?
You're on your own with
that one. No. I think this is exciting. Bring it on. See what they can do. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, people will whine on the internet, and I'll miss it, and because I'm not on the internet anymore. So that's all good.
That's true. Really doesn't know.
Even though I won't lie, I have to say one thing. I laughed my ass off of all the whiny little bitches who cried about him not being Superman anymore. Oh my God. Me and the staff I work with, we laughed so much, especially at one of his. He cried so much. I loved it. He was like,
let's not start beef with someone who's got more followers than me.
I'll start beef with him. Doesn't even know
I know you'll start beef with him, Moody. You're not the one on the internet anymore that'll have to take it.
Maybe that was my plan all along. But you're hoping to get deleted off of Twitter anyways. So
I'm hoping to get. Oh my God! I know you've made a character out of not listening to me, but Jesus Christ! Please listen to the words that come out of my mouth.
I do listen. I'm just taking the piss out of you.
I know.
I know. And somebody really it's really biting at you tonight. It's really poking you. Normally you're very more strong-skinned.
I am, normally. You've been doing this all night. Let me remind you, this podcast started with an argument about Sonic the Hedgehog that I had to walk away from.
It's a bad movie, like, it really is.
So it's time for OpenCritic Hit Day. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. It's the last one of the year. The final decider. I managed to come back from 10 points to bring it to level. Amy 26, Moody 26, and last week we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of High on Life, and it might have the most appropriate OpenCritic average of all time. I guessed it would get 74. Moody guessed it would get a 70, and at the time of recording, High on Life has an OpenCritic average of 69, because of course it does, which makes the final scores for 2022, Amy 26, Moody 27, with 3 points for guests and a draw with an asterisk next to it because we drew on purpose. Moody, you won. Congratulations.
Yeah, I got my title back from winning it 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
It's like we're passing titles back.
I know the feeling. Like
to me, to you, to me, to you.
Return of the former 2 years ago champ. Well played, Moody.
Yeah, that'll be a theme when we do Fantasy Critic next year. It's just a luck game, right? It's like
I went on a winning spree of getting the exact score right for like 6 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I mean, if you like read through the lists of the games, you can see where we both went on like massive streaks of winning. If you know much about like what games came out when, I'm not going to do that because I can't be bothered, unless you want me to.
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. We're not going to do a fantasy critic check-in because the season's over and we're doing a whole thing next year. We'll talk about the results and the winners, and we'll draft our. Whatever. Actually, there is one thing I want to talk about. Can we talk about the fact that Joe Medforce came in January, drafted his team,
off.
left, never came back, did not finish last. Did not finish in last place.
I really did have a year, and I don't even remember what I picked at the end of the day. No.
I don't want to focus on the part where you left. I want to focus on the part where you left but still didn't finish last. I feel like that's an achievement in and of itself.
It's the only time I've ever done any fantasy league of anything, and so I'm pretty pleased with the fact that I didn't come last place. That's worked out all right in the end.
That was my plan all along.
Hey.
And that's it.
Crystal Protocols, man. It's got minus now for me? Seriously? Fucking hell. You useless twats.
Again, we'll have our results wrap up before we draft next year. I mean, I've been in the private chat. I've seen the back and forth. I might have some idea of what's coming in that episode of the Words About Games podcast, but that's 2023's problem. 2022.
Elful dancing, being all smug, and then by the end of the 2023, she'll be all, oh no,
I'm like, I just want to say, like, the vibe of that podcast is going to be really funny because it's going to be like you and Alfie doing your thing, and like you know that meme that gets shared around where all the people are fighting in the takeaway. And then there's that one guy just on his phone with his headphones on, and I'm just that one guy with the headphones on, going through my phone. Like, you guys are gonna be like fighting over, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I won. I still won.
Oh, bless you.
It's okay. I learned my lesson about shit talking when I did it last year, and lost. Yeah, before and lost. Yeah. Well, technically, it's still last year.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna be like. I'm going to be like less like shit talking this year. Next year. I'm going to be like very gracious in winning because I don't want to embarrass myself again. For Joe, for you that doesn't know, I kind of wiped the floor in the first year, came in the next year, and I was all like, it'd just be nice to have some competition. Like, just someone to challenge me, and Moody fucking challenged me. And then some.
That's it.
Fucking
That's it. You know,
kneecaps me.
every hero needs a villain. Every every
Like-
ego needs a rid. And
Because we do this, all these games and stuff on this podcast, I feel like me and Moody are simultaneously best friends and also each other's nemesis.
We love and love each other at the same time.
It's like 1 minute it'll be like Moody will be telling me about a job he gets at PlayStation, and we'll spend like 3 hours on Discord talking about how amazing that is, and then the next day I'll be on Twitter shit talking him about Fantasy Critic, being like, "You fucking come on, man, Moody, you do something or what?"
he won't, because he's not even on Twitter anymore.
And now he won't. I can say whatever I want. You'll never see it. Maybe I already
I think
do.
I wanted to still
Maybe no one will ever see it, because
the attention
Twitter,
I gave was very
Twitter
low.
will, Twitter will
That is
eventually
true.
implode.
That is true.
Can't wait.
But that's it. 2022. We're done. And again, much.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Well, come on. I mean, like compared to where we were at last year, like, I mean, I feel like we're in a much better place. Personally.
I won't lie, my dad died last year, so this is a 10 times better year, no doubt about that.
That's good.
I mean, yes, absolutely. 100%.
A definite improvement. We like that, and I'm
The
glad
bar was so low, so it wasn't hard to jump over.
There we go.
Oh God!
I believe last year I used the phrase "crawling over broken." It feels like we're crawling over broken glass to the finish line. Whereas this year, I don't know, pretty good. You know, like
Yeah.
I think
Wasn't
we're all
bad.
right. Our mental health has improved.
Well, it is really weird. Like it is like obviously, Amy, you know more than anything. Like the first 5 months weren't the best for me this year. Of the collision I was having at college.
Sure. I mean, like, you know, and you know that, like, my first, like, four or 5 months were pretty good.
I know.
And then everything fell to pieces.
I know. Then that thing went well for me. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like we traded places again. We just handed
Swapping that shit backwards and forwards.
So how's it going to start next year? Oh, no. I don't want to know.
Mutually assured destruction.
We just take each other out.
There's balance in all things.
There's something, that's for sure.
There's some, like, I feel like we need to figure this formula out so we can just both have, like, good years at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
nice.
my turning point was I caught COVID and then everything went wrong.
It did, didn't it? It really
After that.
did.
But you know what? I'm making my way through the year with a smile on my face, and I can't say I'm necessarily like in a bad place. So that's good.
That's good.
I'm pleased to hear that. That's what.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my hat on.
And I'm in a pretty decent place as well.
Joe's got a cool hat. I want a cool hat.
Yeah, you definitely got a cool hat.
And I don't want a hat, so I'm good.
Don't need it. Don't need it. Handsome as is, Moody, as ever.
Yeah, I just got the mop cut. I need to show it off.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. Thanks everybody for joining us on this podcast and on this year. Thanks, Joe, for joining us again.
Bye.
Always
Happy
lovely to
to
see
be
you.
here. Thank you so much for having me.
Moody?
And everyone, all the best for 2023.
Excellent. Moody, no more salted caramel podcasts. It's your New Year's resolution. I'm making one for you.
Amazing.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess you want me to take us out?
Do you have anything final words of wisdom for 2022?
Everybody, we're coming to the end of 2022. It has been an up and down year, but as always, we keep pushing forward. And it's our final week before we're off for Christmas and for the new year. So finish off strong and have a happy Christmas and a happy new year.
See you later.